An epic journey awaits. Join me and my time-traveling apprentice, Remembro, as we take you back to the 90s.
1991 was actually a pretty good year for new cartoons. The birth of Nicktoons kicked off with two iconic series, Doug and Rugrats, along with the premiere of Ren and Stimpy. 1991 was also loaded with cartoon one-season wonders, some featuring celebrities and sports stars like MC Hammer, Michael Jordan, and Macaulay Culkin. Some were downright horrible and others faced premature cancellation. Today we're taking a look at 10 cartoons that premiered in 1991 that didn't get a second season. Let us know in the comments below if you remember watching any of these.
The books on a bit of a clown, a Broadway baby, I'm just hanging around. What kind of Campbell's kid are you? Campbell soup sound good. What kind of Campbell's kid are you? Good.
Number 10, James Bond Jr.
James Bond Jr. Yes, Mr. Bond, James Bond Jr.
James Bond Jr. was released on September 30th, 1991. It ran for 65 episodes before ending in December of 1992. It is the only television series ever produced based on the Bond franchise. The series follows the adventures of James Bond's nephew, James Bond Jr., while he attends prep school, along with his friends IQ, the grandson of Q, and Gordo, who's the son of Felix. They battle with the terrorist group Scum, saboteurs, and criminals united in mayhem. James Bond
Right
Jr.
in the
merchandise
nuts.
included 9 toy figures, a board game, 3 die-cast toy vehicles, 2 video games based on the series for the NES and the Super NES, and had a limited 12-issue run with Marvel Comics, spanning from January 1992 to December 1992. It was a bit odd, though, that James Bond Jr. was the nephew and not the son of James Bond. The cartoon was actually pretty popular and was a decent attempt at making the world of James Bond appeal to the young audience.
Scared Silly, starring Ronald McDonald and the Chicken McNuggets.
Ramos, come on! What are you making?
We're stirring up secret sauces.
We're ready, boss?
Let's make sauce.
Oh, well, at least I got my hair done.
Whoop-de-doo! McDonald's sauces.
You can always count on them to be terrific.
It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
Number 9, Where's Waldo? Where's Waldo premiered on September 14th, 1991 on CBS. Also known as Where's Wally in the UK. 13 episodes were produced before being cancelled. It was a bold choice to base a cartoon on a book that really didn't have much of a plot in the first place. Where's Waldo went beyond the book's original concept, giving the character depth and giving reasons for his adventures. Each episode follows the adventures of Waldo and his dog Wolf, as they solve mysteries in distant lands, while also battling Oddlaw, as he tries to steal the magic stick.
If I could just get me thieving into that magic walking stick.
Waldo, however, was a bit of a doofus and usually solved the mysteries either by accident or with the help of friends. Wizard Whitebeard was voiced by Brad Garrett, who was impersonating Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh yeah, right. Your little head time flies when you're having fun, Wally. I mean, Waldo.
Each episode also featured Where's Waldo Freeze Frames. The series was nominated for a Young Artist Award for Outstanding New Animation Series. Another cartoon named Where's Waldo was released in 2019, but was completely different from the original 91 version.
Mr. Cow.
Yes?
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
I don't know. I always end up biting. Ask Mr. Fox, for he's much cleverer than I.
Number 8, Bucky O'Hare and the Toad Wars.
I was saving those.
Released on September 8th, 1991, Bucky O'Hare and the Toad Wars was based on a comic book by Larry Hama and Michael Golden. The cartoon was meant to be the next Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles phenomena, with lots of merchandise. The series ran for 1 season with 13 episodes. Galactic hero Bucky O'Hare and his brave crew battled the evil Toads, bent on conquering the universe. A young boy genius from the human universe joins Bucky's crew. The cartoon explored more of the universe and followed a loose underlying arc, with Bucky's home planet of Warren being captured by the Toads in the season premiere, and rescued in the finale. The show was made with the intention of promoting the new Bucky O'Hare themed toy line, but when plans for that fell through, the series was abruptly cancelled. The cartoon was actually pretty good and highly underrated. Bucky O'Hare and the Toad Wars definitely falls into the premature cancellation category.
Classic, can't be
on.
Number 7, Little Shop.
All right, it's time for me to bust a rhyme, sit back. And chill for a while, coming at ya. Like Boom Styles, get ready for a funny bone overload.
Released on September 7th, 1991 on the Fox Kids Network, Little Shop was loosely based on the 1960 Roger Corman film The Little Shop of Horrors. Corman actually served as a consultant for the show. Self-proclaimed nerd Seymour, an adolescent boy who works in a flower shop, is friends with a talking Venus flytrap named Junior. Junior sprouts from a 200 million-year-old seed and has the ability to talk and hypnotize people. Episodes focus on the pubescent exploits of the leads, and they frequently feature a moral. They also feature a couple of musical numbers per episode, with the help of a trio of singing flowers, reminiscent of Crystal, Ronette, and Chiffon from the musical. A few characters were changed in the cartoon, however. Neighborhood bully Payne Driller replaces the character of Orrin, the dentist, and Audrey, Seymour's love interest, is a bow-wearing brunette who is always thinking about what job she wants when she grows up. The horror elements in previous versions of the story in which characters are eaten by the plant are toned down. The cartoon had mixed reviews, some loved it and others hated it. Little Shop failed to build a loyal audience and was cancelled after 13 episodes. Number 6, Pro Stars. Released on September 14th, 1991 on NBC. 3 of the biggest sports stars of the 90s were featured in the cartoon as superheroes. The show was initially set to air on ESPN as part of a kids' block they were planning on releasing. However, these plans were scrapped and the show was picked up by NBC for Saturday morning. The show centers on Michael Jordan, Bo Jackson, and Wayne Gretzky fighting crime, helping children, and often protecting the environment as well. These 3 were chosen to represent the pinnacle of all 4 major American sports. In the early 90s, while Jordan and Gretzky were broadly associated with their respective sports, Jackson was included since he could represent both football and baseball, and at the time was a high-profile celebrity. A reference to his Bo-Knows Nike ad campaign was worked into almost every episode. None of the stars voiced their characters. They did, however, appear in vignettes, where they would talk about the upcoming episode and answer questions at the end of the episode. Jordan's film bits were almost always one line or two, and not part of the skits before the episode. Most of the live-action parts by the athletes dealt with things such as morality. Pro Stars was canceled after 13 episodes. Number 5, Wish Kid. Macaulay Culkin was a hot property in the early 90s, with Home Alone eating up the tickets at the theaters. But as a home TV product, Culkin and Wish Kid did not fare so well, lasting only one short 13-episode season. Nick McClary owned a baseball glove that had been struck by a miniature shooting star, an event that enabled it to magically grant wishes if punched 3 times. It was, however, limited to use only once every week, and each wish would expire relatively short after it was cast, often at the most inopportune time. The character was modeled after and voiced by Macaulay Culkin, who would appear in a live-action prologue before the episode. Macaulay's real-life sister Quinn voiced his sister Katie. Even though Macaulay Culkin was hugely popular in 1991, it wasn't enough to keep the series alive and was canceled after airing 13 episodes. A second series was planned for 1993 to air on the Family Channel, but this was later canceled as well. Number 4, Space Cats. Released September 14th, 1991 on NBC, created by puppeteer Paul Fusco, who's most known for the TV show Elf. Fusco also voiced Captain Catgut. The Space Cats come from a planet called Triglyceride 7, ruled by a being named Dork, which stands for Disembodied, Omnipotent Ruler of Cats. The Space Cats station themselves on Earth in an underground base with a garbage can as its only access. A live-action segment is shown where various Space Cats are seen on duty. The animated segment is then shown where Captain Catgut sends the team of Tom, Scratch, and Sniff out to work. At the end of each episode, the group gives the viewers a moral, then wrap up the episode vocalizing the charge music and shouting out their team name. The art style was a bit inconsistent throughout each episode, either being a little bit different to very noticeably different. This can be quite distracting for viewers, especially ones who tend to notice even the littlest of details. In 1992, Space Cats was nominated for a Young Artist Award for Outstanding New Animation Series. NBC released a comic collection featuring several of their cartoons, one of which was Space Cats. Even though the cartoon was fairly popular, it was canceled after 13 episodes.
The other day, my dad says, "Hey guys, let's have pizza." Then he asked me what I want on the pizza. So I said, everything. Lots of cheese, pepperoni, spaceships, cars, balls, a
Balls on
helicopter,
pizza.
race cars, robots, games, hoops, a mouse. You know, it works.
Number 3, Yo Yogi.
If you want to outsmart a picnic table, you gotta outthink it.
Don't strain yourself on.
Yo Yogi premiered September 14th on NBC. 13 episodes were produced before being canceled. This cartoon was the perfect example of don't mess with a good thing. It would probably be easier to list the similarities rather than the differences to the classic. The show features Yogi Bear and other popular Hanna-Barbera characters, depicted as teenage crime fighters. The team includes Yogi's friend Boo Boo Bear, Huckleberry Hound, Snagglepuss, and Yogi's girlfriend Cindy Bear. The gang all hang out at Jellystone Mall and work for LAF, short for Lost and Found, where they act as detectives trying to solve mysteries under the supervision of the mall security guard, Officer Smith. Everything about it just felt wrong. Kellogg's offered 3D glasses and Rice Krispie boxes, and some segments of the show were shown in 3D. At the beginning of these 3D sequences, Yogi would spin his hat as a cue to viewers to don their 3D glasses. On March 6, 1992, in response to the success of the Saturday morning live-action teen sitcom Saved by the Bell, NBC canceled its entire Saturday morning block of cartoons to replace the cartoons with a new block of live-action shows targeting teenagers. Number 2, Little Dracula. Little Dracula premiered September 3rd on Fox Kids, based on the British children's book of the same name. Little Dracula is a green-skinned child vampire who aspires to be like his father, Big Dracula, yet also enjoys rock and roll and surfing. 13 episodes were produced, but only 6 aired during its first run. However, in 1999, Fox Family reran Little Dracula, including 4 episodes that didn't air during the original run. The year Little Dracula debuted on Fox Kids, an action figure collection based on the character's hit store shelves, produced by Bandai. They each feature multiple points of articulation, several accessories, and a unique action feature. Igor's brain pops out when his arm is lifted. Vehicles of Little Dracula included the Coffin Car, Dragster, Easy Biter motorcycle, and Garlic Mobile. Little Dracula was canceled, and Beetlejuice took its time slot.
It was late one night in the castle of the Chicken McNuggets.
What are you making?
Sauce. We're using my mummy's recipe.
Mummy,
This better be good.
It'll be great.
Does your daddy have a recipe?
Now you can get McDonald's Happy Meal pails for
Halloween!
There's a pumpkin pail, a witch, and a ghost that glows in the dark.
Number 1, Hammerman.
Hammer! Whenever there's a crime, some crooks are gonna do time. They all better beware, because the Hammerman will be there.
Probably the most bizarre cartoon released in 1991, Hammerman premiered September 7th on ABC. MC Hammer was insanely popular in 1991, so why not give him his own cartoon? Youth Center worker Stanley Burrell, which is Hammer's real name, owns a pair of magical dancing shoes that are alive and can speak. When worn, Burrell transformed into the superhero Hammerman. He frequently gets advice from his Gramps, who was a former owner of the shoes, and was known as Soul Man. While in the guise of Hammerman, Burrell was dressed in MC Hammer's signature Hammer Pants and a myriad of golden chains. Hammerman faced various social issues at the end of each episode. MC Hammer would speak to the audience and provide methods to address these issues themselves. They really should have made that giant genie Hammer Pants magical, rather than a pair of old shoes. Entertainment Weekly journalist Dalton Ross listed Hammerman at the top of his list, top 5 ridiculous things to be turned into Saturday morning cartoons. Described the show as idiotic. According to the MC Hammer episode of Behind the Music in 1997, this cartoon was considered the final straw for critics who accused Hammer of selling out. Well, there you have it, 10 failed cartoons of 1991. Let us know if you remember any of these. Thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe for more videos just like this.
Turtle, 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 turtle. Turtle, they're still watching. TM90's crew out.